Hey everybody, it's Everett back from Hood Time Welding. Today we are going to be working on the racks. Last week you saw we finished up the base for the barbecue pit, and now we have to make the racks. Making it out a 3/4 inch round, and the expanded metal you guys already saw me in last week's video, starting to cut some of those up for the panels that go on here. This one's going to be a little bit different. I would go through and do all the frames because there's 4 of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first one, and we're going to set up pins on the table, pins, angles, whatever, to just mass produce them since we have 4 of them to do. But this first one, we're going to sort of skip the part about putting the pins in at the beginning and just go ahead and get the mesh right on it, because I have, what was it, about 300 psi left of gas. And it's a Thursday before the holiday weekend, and I hope to work on this over the weekend. So I need to get some more of my argon CO2 mix for my MIG welder, but I want to use up more of the gas first before we go turn the bottle in. So I got an hour and a half here to use up as much of the gas as I can before I have to go return the bottle, or exchange the bottle. So this first one, we're just going to put it together, put the expanded metal on, and start welding it on. So then that way, like I said, we use up as much of the gas. But once we have that, or once we have the new gas, what we're going to do is just set this one up. I can just use it as a guide for where the pins go, and then we can make the other 3 frames up right together. But as always, let's get started. there's our first rack done. You might be wondering why I put this extra bar in. I wasn't sure. I don't know if you can see it real well here. Let me pull it out so that you can see it better. So this thing has some flex in it, and I don't want that. Stop. I don't want that center to sink down too much. So my thought is I'd rather give it a little extra support. And when I was talking to the guy that I ordered steel from, he talked to me about maybe it might have a little flex. I might have to put something across the center. And I was like, well, let me see how it feels, and we'll see how it does. But after I got it all welded up, it just felt like there was a little too much flex in there. So I put that extra 3/8 bar across, welded along the backside, just give that center just a little bit more support. Sorry about that, I got a little close. But yeah, it was something I've been thinking about, but I hadn't decided for sure if I was going to do it. And then after getting that all put together and everything, I just saw that flex in the middle, and I was like, I got to do something. So that first one's all done. You saw the handles look pretty decent. Something good to grip onto. And what was I going to say? Yeah, I got to clean that one up, clean the ends up so there's no sharp spots, you know, round them off just a little bit. And it's bowed just slightly, but it's bowed. I wonder if you can see. I don't even know if you really can see it. From welding all on that one side, it's bowed a little bit that way, but all the weight's going to be on this side. So I think that'll be all right. Because, I mean, you're going to have the weight on that side. It'll straighten out after time in a little heat. But, yeah, I don't know if the camera shut off before you saw. I got the next, or I got everything set up. So now I can just plop those in there and tack up all the frames. I know it took a couple extra minutes, but it's going to save me on time. It's going to keep everything nice and straight where I want it. The only measurement I'll have to do is just on that center rod. I'll put that in now before I put the expanded metal. But yeah, so we got lucky and got down to 100 pounds. So now I need to go exchange my 7525 argon CO2 bottle. So after we do that, we'll get back to going. And like I said, we'll just go through, make all 3 other frames and weld them up, and then we'll work on the expanded metal because I've got one more piece cut, and then I'll have to cut the other 2. So it's going along pretty decent, and that. So let's get back to work. So hey everybody, I'm back today. This is a new day for me. I know I left off the video with the other one in place, and I started tacking it, but ended up getting pulled to another side project just so I could get it done for a customer. So we're getting back to these, and oh, and the gas, I didn't quite run all the way out. So what I'm going to do is I've been cleaning. I cleaned the ends up on all of these, rounded these corners like I should have done on the first one. And that way when people are grabbing it, they don't have anything sharp to grab onto. Went through and cleaned all the short pieces up. The longer pieces now, I'm making the mark where these ones are where the shorter pieces hit, cleaning that. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get all the frames together. We're going to cut our last 2 pieces of mesh today. And then we're going to see how far we can get with the gas I have left. So, yeah, sorry about that. It's just a little mix-up. Well, it wasn't a mix-up. It's just, like I said, I got pulled to another project that I needed to do yesterday. And so I wasn't able to stay on this. So it's a little disjointed on the video. I'm sorry. But let's get back to work. So I got all the frames welded, cleaned up, so they're ready to go. You know, I was cleaning these edges so I have a nice place to weld, and got everything cleaned up, all ready to go. These ones are just a teeny, maybe a 1/4 inch short. So the next two, I made them a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch longer. So I just got just a teeny bit more on either end because I can get this. It's not too bad of a gap, but I'd rather not have a gap. So yeah, I thought my measurement was right, so I cut them. I should have just cut one, figured it out, but I didn't. So now I just got to deal with that little tiny gap that's on the ends. And it's not a huge deal, but yeah, so all we have left is the 3 I've got left to fit up, or, you know, the 3 left to put the wire mesh on. Then I'll, of course, have to just go through and clean them all, but as you know, the base is already done, so this is the last little bit. We're down to the wire, I guess you'd say. So let's keep going, see how long our gap holds out. So, as you can see, the racks are made up. Each one, I made them so they would sit on the angle iron when they were just sitting on these. We made one extra to sandwich the chickens between. There should be about 1.5 inch space between the two because you got 3/4 and 3/4, so 1.5 inch, of course. But they did bow just a little bit from doing the expanded metal and the expanded metal mesh, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not really worried about it. You get a little weight on there and a little heat, and they'll straighten right back out. The big thing is, I probably overweld the mesh. You know me. I always like to be a little bit more. I usually overweld stuff than underweld. I don't want it coming back to me. Oh, I almost fell over there. But this was a nice project. Like I said, with the welding, I welded every single one on that one side, and on the side the chicken is supposed to be on, I even put some extra there to help hold, because I always get annoyed when expanded metal mesh pops off those, so I really try to weld it in really well. But I hope you enjoyed the barbecue pit build. I know it was 3 videos and they might be a little bit long and a little bit boring, but I didn't want to do them all in one video. I figured that would be way too much for one video. It's a nice job for me. It's like I was telling you at the beginning, this is the biggest job I've landed so far, so that was pretty exciting, and I got it done under time that I estimated, because if you've ever estimated a job, I always like to be a little over on hours than under. It just makes it a little nicer for the customer to see, oh, it's just a little bit under what you said, um, instead of having to go back to them and ask for that extra money. But anyways, as usual, any comments, questions, concerns, ask them. I try to get back to you right away. Big thumbs up if you like the video. And we've got more stuff coming up. So we'll see you on the next one.